Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Lise Leblanc, therapist, author, and life coach. And today I'm talking about how narcissists project their negative feelings, actions, and intentions onto others. And at the end of this video, I will explain whether narcissists are doing this on purpose. Okay, so what exactly is projection? In psychological terms, it's when someone projects or attributes their own feelings, thoughts, insecurities, intentions, and actions onto someone else. It's a defense mechanism, and everyone does this on occasion. But narcissists do it consistently without any sense of accountability. It's not that they're just stressed out or having a bad day. It's a pervasive pattern of behavior that allows them to maintain a distorted view of themselves and avoid accountability. So narcissists struggle with facing their own flaws. So what they do is they create a reality where they're always right and everyone else is wrong. So instead of recognizing that they, like everyone else, has faults, imperfections, they make mistakes that they need to acknowledge and take accountability for, but they can't do this. So they project onto others to maintain their carefully constructed illusion of perfection, shielding themselves from the unbearable discomfort of facing their own shortcomings and shame. By accusing you of being overly sensitive, jealous, possessive, abusive, or dishonest, they're essentially confessing their own hidden fears, insecurities, intentions, and actions onto you. This creates a toxic and twisted dynamic where you're constantly being blamed for things that they themselves are doing, leaving you questioning your own sanity and your own reality. The more they project, the more they reinforce their distorted view of themselves, of you, and the world around them. And it's a self-perpetuating cycle where their need to be right and to be perfect and be the victim overrides any sense of empathy or accountability. They're not able to see how illogical and damaging their thought process is, which is why it is so hard to reason with them. So let's look at a few examples of projection. Let's say you get into an argument with your narcissistic girlfriend and she tells you that a real man wouldn't act that way. And when you later try to talk to her about how this made you feel disrespected and belittled, instead of admitting that her words were hurtful, she responds with something like, "Well, I'm just trying to help you by pointing out the truth. It's really unfortunate that I can't be honest with you because you're so sensitive." Of course, the reality is that you're just expressing yourself respectfully, and she is the one who is hypersensitive, who you can't really be honest with without her immediately deflecting, blaming, and projecting her own insecurities back onto you while, of course, playing the victim. Here's another example. Let's say your narcissistic wife is yelling at you, completely going off the rails. You get upset and react by raising your voice a little bit too, but it's only a fraction of the level that she's at. Instantly, she accuses you of yelling and being abusive, even though her behavior is far more extreme and she's the one who started it. Later, when you're both calm, you try to discuss the situation respectfully, acknowledging your role in the conflict, and she still can't admit one iota of accountability. It's like she's truly incapable of seeing her own role in any problems that arise, even in situations when she's completely at fault. In her mind, she's done nothing wrong, so she's in total denial. And if she does admit to anything, it's your flaws and failures that caused her to behave these ways. It's a complete double standard where their aggression and bad behavior is always excused, minimized, justified, and projected onto you, and the slightest negative reaction from you is abusive. Here's one last example. Let's say your narcissistic wife is flirting with another man right in front of you, and at one point you privately let her know that it's making you feel uncomfortable. Rather than acknowledging how her behavior is crossing your boundary, she might react by accusing you of being possessive, insecure, or even of cheating on her. She could say something like, "I'm just being friendly. Why are you always so jealous? Don't you trust me?" Meanwhile, you can't even spend an extra 5 minutes at the store without getting grilled about why you're late, who you talked to, and without her insinuating that you're up to no good. So instead of owning up to the fact that she's flirting and admitting that she wouldn't appreciate this type of behavior if the tables were turned, she twists the situation around and accuses you of the very thing that she is doing. And here's the thing. Let's say a week later you did something even remotely similar. She would completely lose her mind, treating it as a total betrayal, seemingly having zero memory of having done the exact same thing to you just last week. Now, people often ask me, why do narcissists do this? Is it on purpose? Before I answer this question, just keep in mind that I'm not referring to sociopaths or psychopaths here. I am talking about people who have narcissistic personality disorder. So, while narcissists often consciously and purposely manipulate situations to their advantage, the act of projecting their own emotions, insecurities, actions, and intentions onto others is typically done on a subconscious level. It's driven by a deep-seated sense of shame and desperate need to protect their fragile ego. So under this facade of flawlessness, superiority, grandiosity, and vulnerability and victimhood in the case of a covert narcissist is a core of profound insecurity and fear. It's a common misconception that all narcissistic behavior is driven by deliberate malice. While there are many instances of calculated cruelty, many narcissists genuinely lack awareness of the impact that their attitudes and actions have on others. That said, it's also important to understand that there are many times when narcissists do know exactly what they're doing. They're acting with intent to harm, manipulate, control, and dominate, and they don't care. Instead, they rationalize their behavior, making up narratives to twist reality and to convince themselves that they are the victim, even when they are the abuser. This self-deception serves to deflect responsibility and protect their fragile self-image. Ironically, many narcissists, especially covert ones, claim to have superior self-awareness and empathy, often truly seeming to believe that they have heightened emotional capacity and are very spiritual, when in fact they operate from a place of profound emotional immaturity, constantly projecting their narcissistic traits, behaviors, emotions, and intentions onto others. In their distorted reality, it's always someone else's fault. So in the end, they always paint themselves out to be the innocent victim, even when they're the ones initiating conflict or being emotionally abusive. And they will work very hard to get you to buy into this idea that your flaws and failures are the true cause of their narcissistic behavior. So when you're dealing with a narcissist, you have to understand that you're not going to change their distorted reality. But the longer you stay in the relationship, the more likely it is that they will distort yours. If you are feeling trapped in a toxic relationship or trying to heal from one, please consider reaching out to a therapist in your area who specializes in narcissistic abuse, and consider my toxic relationship recovery program that I linked below. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, and to learn more about the toxic tactics of a female covert narcissist, click on the link above.